pretty awesome. Just to see that he can still turn it up like that. Obviously, he wanted to win against his former team here, and came out of the gates really strong. A lot of defensive communication still, even though he had 46 points. Still quarterbacking our defense and really just carrying us down the stretch. Great defensive energy, but the shot making was just ridiculous, and just one of those nights for the ages for him.
Yeah, he's having one of the best shooting stretches of his career. There was 1 year, 12-13, where he was about 40% from three. But have you noticed anything specifically on that end with the way that the shot looks, where he's getting it, and just the role of what the offense is?
Well, it's and we've been encouraging him to shoot over the top and to beat defenses because he shoots it at a high clip, and defenses are going to try to sag off and try to keep him out of the paint or whatever. This is sort of, if you're going to make a parallel, guys like MJ and Kobe went into the fadeaway jump shots out of the post a lot towards the later part of their careers. Well, he's doing that as well, but he's also, bringing that ability to beat teams from deep in the modern NBA, which, is an acceptable part of this era of basketball. And, he shoots the heck out of it from that range. And, I don't really, if I'm playing against him, I'm not really sure what I'm doing to try to slow him down when he's shooting the ball that well from the perimeter.
Hey, Frank, before the season, there's a lot of talk about the possibility that, you guys might find games to rest LeBron. And I think before the season, you were a little hesitant to commit to things. And then by the time the season started, you sort of said, well, we want to play him as long as he's ready to go. I'm wondering, even like early December, when you guys are just starting training camp, were you already pretty certain that LeBron would just play through it and just be able to go every night? Or how sure were you on what your approach would be?
Didn't know what to expect. He was going to have a green light and encouragement to manage his body early in the season based on how he was feeling. And, we were prepared to let him sit some games out, from time to time. He hasn't needed it. He's felt really good and wanted to stay in there. And, we always give him the green light to stay in there too. So, it's going to be that type of, it was that way last year with our group. It will be this year throughout the whole course of the season, all the way through the 72 before we get to the playoffs where, we trust him to manage his body with the communication with the medical team, little bumps and bruises like the ankle that can be sore from time to time for him. And, we just make these decisions on a game-by-game basis. But the plan A is for him to play. And then if there's a reason why he needs a game off, then, then we'll give him a game off. But there hasn't been one to this point.
Dan?
Like obviously LeBron did what he did and it was ridiculous, but I'm curious, were there any other kind of winning plays that you noticed in those stretches where you guys were kind of pretty rocky offensively? Anything that really stuck out to you as like that was the life that you guys needed to keep going?
I don't know if there's one specific play, but I just know that, obviously he's got a chance to make every shot he takes when it's over the top, and when he attacks the paint, he's typically going to make a great read, and he's still creating shots for others. And, like I said, defensively, the physical presence that he brings to our team, as well as the mind, the IQ, and the communication, the barking out coverages and actions on the other team, really just impacts winning on a way that is unprecedented. It's unparalleled, and the box score says 46 points, but obviously he did so many other things to help us win.
That's a horrible question, Frank. I meant the other guys.
Yeah. So what ways did the other guys? Well, I think Kuz's six offensive rebounds.
I think of Kuzma's offensive rebounds.
Yeah, Kuz's offensive rebounds. Caruso's one-on-one defense. I mean, he does some things defensively that you don't really understand how he does it, but he just does it. And I thought there was it was a good team win. I mean, Trez had really good minutes. Wes Matthews and Keefe came in and had good minutes. The bench overall was really good. Mark battled Drummond. KCP does what he does in terms of his speed on the break, and defensively, AD didn't have a great night, but really during that final stretch, really protected the paint, and we got some key stops that were necessary to pull this thing out. So, LeBron at 46, but this was definitely a team win.
Bill? Hey, Frank, you described this as pretty cool just to watch. I'm wondering, in the year and a half now you've been with LeBron, where does this rank on like kind of the ridiculous hang your head and laugh sort of, just outlandish performances for him? I mean, in terms of magnitude, I'm sure the championship obviously trumps all, but just on a night when he just kind of floors you with what he's able to do.
It's right up there. Obviously just coached a very difficult game, down a stretch type of game. So, my mind's not going to all the other performances, but it's right up there with the top for sure.
A couple more, Dave.
Frank, when he got up there for that block on Sexton that was originally called a goaltend, did you know in the moment that, I'm going to go to the challenge, or did he have to convince you at all? And do you think that the fact that was called a block, it helped the momentum he was building in that quarter?
I think it did help the momentum, and it was pretty clear to me, that it was a goaltend. But what I always try to measure with that is what value are we gaining if I'm right, if I win the challenge, and a lot of times you can save a challenge for a key possession late in the game, to keep a key player from getting foul trouble, or to take away 3 free throws. This was going to be take away 2 points and not get possession. It would be a jump ball. So, there's a little hesitation. I always seek validation from my coaching staff to make sure that they're seeing the play the way I saw it. And, they all felt the same way. And, when you make a play like that, when it's kind of a momentum play, I thought it was the right time to make the challenge. And, obviously we ended up getting a stop on that second possession. So we saved those 2 points and, kept our run going.
Next question, Brian Kamenetsky.
Hey, Frank, Dan mentioned Kyle and his offensive rebounding, things like that. He's sort of, I think, embraced kind of an energy role, filling in whatever needs to be done on any particular night. I don't expect you to speak for him necessarily, but in your experience, what does it do for a player, particularly at that point in his career, to have the kind of security, to have a contract, know he's going to stay somewhere, to be able to do those little things and kind of give up some of the other stuff that they might otherwise worry about?
Yeah, I mean, I think that may play a small part, but I really think with Kuz, it's a very small part. I mean, you saw him do this last year. You saw him sacrifice without the contract extension, sacrifice his individual scoring and numbers, and find ways to impact winning in any way that he can, whether it was defense or rebound and a run on the floor, just bringing overall energy. And I thought the last 2 games he did that exceptionally well. And it didn't show up with a high scoring total, but to think that it's because of the comfort of the contract, I don't think people should see it that way. I think he's just trying to win games. He's just trying to do whatever he can to help this team win, and that's